historical consultant who was also a pirate expert, so a lot of sort of questions about how they organized and spoke, the weapons they used. He's also a former Navy SEAL, so he has a lot of insight into sort of tactics. And so he was a brilliant. His name is Ben Little. And then we also had Captain Andy Rhea Ellers, who was an actual sea captain. And so, heading into the later seasons, it became really important to us that we start being truthful about how these ships are actually sailed and maneuvered, and what you can do with them and what you can't do with them. And he became an amazing resource. And then we just have a brilliant production team. Our production designer, Wolf Kroger, is just an amazing talent and always delivered above and beyond expectations. And same with the costumes, same with everyone. So, the entire crew in Cape Town was absolutely essential to how well the show came out.
Been putting all these moving cogs. I feel like every season there are more cogs in place. How has that been more complicated, and trying to piece all those things together for this final season and dealing with that? It's the end, and
it is the end, and it's very bittersweet for many reasons. One, we've been working with these people for so many years, and the family's splitting up, but it is. We have been, the ensemble I think is so rich, and the reasons why we are so hard on the story is we feel a responsibility to these characters and to deliver for them, and to deliver for the audience that has invested in this show. And so we're really tough on the story. We grind it and grind it. And I think because of these arcs, everything in season 4 is so heightened. I think we start out very hot. At the end of season 3, Flint says, "I'm coming." And we decided, which we haven't done in most seasons, we kind of start a little slow in the beginning and then hit it hard. This, we start hot from minute 1, and it essentially goes for all 10 episodes.
The LGBT characters that exist within, we've got Anne Bonny, we have Max, and we have Flint, who had a lover that was a man. And how was that incorporating those into was it just an organic decision that came from the page, or was that a conscious decision?
No, I don't think it was not agenda driven necessarily. I think what it is the story in its deepest DNA is a story about people who have stepped outside the social norms of the place they were born into. And I think as part of the exercise wanting to tell a story of who they were, it's meaningless unless you understand who they think they are. And you can't tell that story without telling a story about their sexual identity and their coming to terms with things that would have been very difficult for them to understand or engage with when they were living in London or when they were living in civilized society. But they can here. And so Anne Bonny's story, for me in season 2, was that was one of the more gratifying stories we were able to pull off, is a story about a woman who's realizing that she isn't who she thought she was. And season 3 is finding a measure of comfort in that. I think season 4 for her was about figuring out if it was going to work with the person she thinks it's going to work with. We wanted to engage with all of those stories that way. I think the moment it starts to feel like it's trying to make a point, it's just not emotionally true anymore. And so hopefully all of those stories are character stories about people that you give a shit about now, and that make them a little bit more interesting to know.